Hello, and thanks for joining the Weekly Leaders. It's Walter Latham. I'm your host for today. Sergeant Robinson, he may or may not be here today because he's quite busy. You know, we all got two jobs. You know, we got our regular day job, with the exception of me. My day job is retirement. And so I do a retirement with doing a podcast, doing an Airbnb, and, you know, I try to keep my mind occupied. But anyway, thank you for joining. And we have a very important guest today, a guest, I would have to say, a guest that is so exceptional to me based on his life experiences in his life and where he is today. And that guest is Terrell Rhodes, businessman extraordinaire. And I have to apply that to him. That's the adjective extraordinaire that I will apply to this gentleman. So with that said, let me just tell you a little bit about Terrell, okay? Then I'm going to turn it over to him so he can talk a little bit more. Terrell Rhodes is a seasoned entrepreneur and business coach with a passion for helping others achieve their goals. With over 10 years of experience in the industry, Terrell has successfully launched and grown multiple businesses. And now he dedicates his time to mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs. His unique approach to business strategy and mindset coaching has helped countless individuals overcome obstacles and reach new levels of success. Join us as we take a deep dive into Terrell's journey and uncover the secrets to building a successful business. With that said, I want to thank Terrell. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
All right, Terrell. So finally, I get you on the show.
Yes, sir. It's been a long time coming.
Yes. Yeah, man. Well, you know, we did take a break.
Right.
You know, it's the middle of summer, you know, with July and August, everybody's going on vacation. And we've been out here this is our 6th year. And this is the first vacation that we're taking, you know, so we did it. Yeah, 5 years and 240 episodes later, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's hard work, you know, but I enjoyed it. That's my way of giving back to my community because I love my folks. Meaning my African-American brothers and sisters, I love them so much. And this is my way of giving back to the youth.
Yes, sir.
I've been out there for a number of years. And, okay, tell me a little bit about yourself before we get into the questions.
Yes, sir. Like I said, my name is Terrell Rhodes. Born and raised in a small town called Williamston, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, my hometown, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Very small town. Everybody know everybody. Probably if you dig deep enough, you find out that everybody probably related some form of fashion.
You know, we definitely related now. You know, but
yes, sir.
Yeah. We the original. We are
yes,
the originals.
Sir. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. But yeah, so like I said, I was actually raised. I have. Man, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brothers and sisters. But I was actually raised as an only child. I was raised by my grandmother.
Me too.
So yes, sir. So I grew up grandmother, Pastor Lily Rose. So she hadn't brought me up in church. But like I said, you know, of course, even though she brought me up in church, I still found my hands in all kinds of stuff too. Whatever I could find myself to do, that's just what it is.
Every Sunday morning, you have this. Every Sunday morning, you had to go to Sunday school.
That's it.
And then she met you for church service.
Absolutely. Well, you know, back then, man, you got your Sunday morning service, you got your Tuesday night Bible study, Thursday night Bible study, and I played the keyboard too. So then we got rehearsals too. So I was probably in church 3 to 4 times out the week. Yes, sir. So that's definitely a huge part of my upbringing. Like I said, you know, between church and sports, that's kind of what kept me occupied. You know, growing up as a child. Like I said, you know, growing up in Williamston. I'm 43 years old. So like I said, I was born in 80. So I kind of grew up in the late 80s and early 90s.
My daughter was born in 1980.
Okay. Yes, sir. So like I said, so around that time, you know, it really wasn't much to do in that area. So we had to kind of try to, you know, be creative and find things to do. So, you know, like I said, between sports, church, you know, hanging out with my friends, whatever, that's just kind of what kept me going.
All right. What part of Williamston did you grow up in?
Right on Andrew Street. So right by E.J. Hayes School.
Oh, I went to school. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, right on Andrew Street. Like I said, they had I spent a lot of my time over on, they had a park called a Sideshow Park near Perry Street. That's kind of where I spent all my time playing basketball and, just and hanging out with my friends. I had a very small circle growing up, but like I said, I did have, a few people that I was pretty tight with. But I will say, my grandmother was very strict too, so she didn't let me do too much. She was very strict. But like I said, when I could get out, I try to get out and make the best of, what have you. So that's just kind of a little bit about my background, how I was raised. Like I said, my grandmother, she's my heart, man. I tell you, she made a lot of sacrifices, to make sure, I had some things in life. So like I said, she'll forever be my heart.
I feel you. I can feel you in that. My grandma
absolutely.
raised me too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All righty. So tell me a little bit more before we get to questions about, what you are doing now, some of the highlights right now that you're doing. I see that you're a mentor, and I'd like to think of myself as a mentor also. But tell me a little bit about your mentoring.
Yes, sir. So right now, like I said, I kind of pride myself. I'm involved with a lot of different business ventures. But the thing that I hold the most dear to my heart is being able to, be a positive influence of the people that I do mentor. And it's crazy because I have different age groups that I actually mentor. So I have, a school age group that I mentor through my basketball program. I have an AAU program called Elite One Ballers. So we have students in our program that range from ages 4th grade all the way up to 12th grade. Like I said, we've been doing that now. For about this is actually made our 14th year that we've had that organization. So like I said, we've made a lot of positive impact in the community, in that particular age group. I also mentor young adults as well as some older adults that kind of have a heart on starting business, or they may already be in business and they're trying to get to the next level. So I mentor them as well. So like I said, so there's quite a few different facets to the way that I mentor and how I do things. And also, I have a lot of different target groups that I actually reach as well. So. Okay.
Sounds good. But before we proceed, I do want to mention my cousin, Tracy Stokes, who referred me to you. And I'd like to thank my cousin, Tracy Stokes, and give him a big shout out, Tracy.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, well, he's my cousin, so yeah, he got to be good.
Yes, sir.
I'm not bragging on Tracy.
Yes, sir.
But, I love my family, boy.
There you go.
I'd like to thank him for, bringing you to our attention. And, hey, I was looking forward to it, man, really looking forward to it. Based on your life experiences, man, I'm so happy to have you on the show. Definitely.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Thank you, sir. Let's start with some questions, though. All right.
Okay.
We already talked about, how your grandmother molded you and having to go to church very strict and this and that. Yeah. Okay. But let's go to your military experience, because you were in the United States Marines. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yep. So I went to the Marine Corps right out of high school. So like I said, I think that was probably one of the best decisions I ever made, because like I said, I was a little loose coming out of high school.
Yeah.
And so really, even though my grandma raised me, she did what she did. She instilled certain things into me. But like I said, again, that's just like with anybody. You're gonna still make your own decision to be your own man. So like I said, my decision making wasn't the best. Wasn't a very structured person.
All have that.
That's it. So, but that military experience, it gave me the structure that I needed at an early age. I was also a father at an early age as well. So I think it was necessary to help me mature and become the man and also the dad, that I am today. Like I said, and also, and I actually, got married at 19 years old. So I joined the military.
Right.
Yeah. So I joined the military at 18. Got married at 19, so I had to grow up fast.
I got a surprise for you.
Okay.
I got married at 16.
Oh, wow. No, that got to be interesting. Yes, sir.
At 16 years old. You say 19 was young. I got 16. My mother had a sign for me.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, it's not about me; it's about you.
Oh,
But I
no,
just, I think I
no,
really
but that's interesting. But see, now I will say this. And that I don't know how old you are. I'm not even gonna ask. That's your business.
no, everybody knows that this is this podcast. They got an idea how old I am.
but what I will say this. I think that in like when I was in 19, it was probably a little less common that people getting married at 19 than it was when you were growing up. Would you attest to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were the exception. 16 was an exception down there.
Okay, I got you.
For a male, anyway, for a boy. I don't know about the women.
I got you.
But my mother had a sign for me, and
tough.
it was a thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It was a thing to do.
Oh yeah.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. Yeah. So like I said, back to the military experience. Like I said, that no, I went in 18, got married at 19. It was a great experience. I did, like I said, did 4.5 years. Met a lot of great people, learned a lot of different things, but it kind of set the foundation, for my life moving forward. I didn't think it would, because like I said, and it's crazy, I'm real big on purpose. When I first joined the military like that in boot camp, I tried to do everything I could to kind of get out of there, because I was trying to look for one way out. But no matter what I tried to do, I couldn't be successful. Like, for whatever reason, it just wasn't good enough. So I ended up completing boot camp by default.
Right. You had to.
By default, because I was definitely ready to go back home. But like I said, just looking back, I'm appreciative, and I'm very thankful that I did have that experience, as the foundation of everything that I've become today.
One of my co-hosts, Sergeant Ernest Robinson, he's a retired combat veteran out of the Marine Corps.
I got you. Okay.
So I wish he was here, but unfortunately, he probably got tied up. It's the middle of the day, but we're going to move forward, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, now family and marriage. You said you got married at the age of 19, and you are the father of 5.
Yes, sir.
My goodness.
Sir. Yes, sir. 4 boys and 1 girl, and the girl run the show. She the youngest. Always. She the youngest and run the show. I hear
you.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
that's
very,
good.
very, very, very proud of all of my kids. And like I said, just like I'm a firm believer. Like I just mentioned to you beforehand, I mentor a lot of people. My first ministry is my house. So, like I said, I make sure that my kids have all the tools, to succeed and be their best version of themselves. Like I said, as a matter of fact, back in 2018, I actually got all of them their own business for Christmas. I was kind of, everybody's buying the shoes, the sneakers, the clothes, all that whole nine.
Right.
But I gifted every one of them their own individual LLC, and and gave them the tools to work it. So and actually, they're still doing their thing with those as well to this day. So I think that was a pretty significant milestone in my life. So.
Excellent. Yeah, I noticed that. And you got these businesses, each kid has an LLC, and their LLCs are ongoing concerns, right?
Absolutely.
That's nice, man. That's nice. All right, let's talk about your ministry involvement. You were heavily involved in ministry through music and preaching from 2001 to 2009.
Yeah.
What drew you to the ministry?
Actually, it was just the way I was raised. It was in me. Like I said, my grandmother instilled it into me at an early age. And like I said, and also hats off to my mom too. I have a great relationship with my mom as well. So she did play a major role in my upbringing as well.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But like I said, between my mom and my grandmother, they instilled it into me early. My grandfather as well, like it was in there. So even though I kind of went my own way, it was always embedded deeply in my roots. So I couldn't never get away from it. So like I said, so when I was in the military, back in I joined a church in the first church that I joined outside my grandmother's church was back in 2001. That was in South Carolina. And that was actually the first time that I really kind of developed my own personal relationship, with God and stuff, what have you. Cause like I said, everything that, growing up was about based on, what my grandmother taught me, what I saw, what I've seen her do. But like I said, when I joined the first ministry, like I said, when I was in South Carolina, that kind of gave me my own personal relationship and my own personal experience of who God is to me and how important it is to me. And so, like I said, I just developed a genuine love for it. And so it was so genuine that I had to share it. So like I said, And so with that, you know, I got into ministry. I was always in music because I grew up playing the music at church. So I've been doing that
Are you
for
a keyboard
years.
player?
Yes, I play keyboard and drums.
All right.
Yes, sir. Keyboard and drums. So like I said, when I've done that, actually I started playing the drums when I was 2 years old. So I've been involved in ministry, music for quite a long time.
Are you playing now? Are you playing anywhere?
I am actually minister of music at New Life World Outreach Center in Snow Hill, North Carolina. So I'm still playing the keyboard to this day. Yes, sir. And I've been playing there since about 2012. Yeah, 2012. So yep. Yes, sir.
You know, life throws curves. You know, there are ups and downs in life, and I tell anyone that you know, if you don't know the bad, then you can't appreciate the good.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, I've experienced that. I gave you guys several highlights of my life, but I tell you, I had a whole lot of lows.
Yeah. Actually, that's a segue. That was my segue.
Let's go there because I'm telling you, listen, Mr. Walt, I'm telling you that the lows are what made me who I am today. So I celebrate them. I celebrate my lows. So like I said, just to kind of go, we'll dive right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So the first thing, like I said, even though I mentioned that I did get married at 19, but like I said, I got a divorce in 2012, and so like I said, that was kind of the beginning of a downhill spiral that I experienced. Like I said, I went through that divorce. You know, I said I just it was just a dark space in my life.
Right.
I got involved with certain things that I shouldn't have been involved with. You know, started making some decisions I should not have been making. And you know, I just became this person that I didn't recognize anymore. And you know, and you know, in that moment, you know, I can definitely tell you that I was lost. I had no guidance. You know, all the things that I was taught went out the window. All the things that I knew went out the window.
Yeah.
You know, because I was just living for the moment, and whatever I felt like doing at that moment, whatever would feel good to me at that moment, I would do it. You know, without any care or concern to anybody or how it affected anybody else. So that's just that place that I was in. So you know, 2013, I actually got some trouble, had a run in with the law.
Okay.
You know. So like I said, and I was, you know, going to court for that case. Let me take a step back. When I first got the indictment and the charges and stuff like that, you know, it was kind of after I committed the crime. So at that point, I was actually starting to get my mind back right again.
Oh, yeah, that makes your mind get right again, nothing else.
Yeah. So and so I was kind of getting back to that place anyway. But then, like I said, that came on the eve of me making the decision that, hey, I need to make some changes. So when I had to kind of fight through that when I wasn't even that person anymore. So that was very trying because at that time I had started kind of building some positive things. Like I said, I had joined the ministry that I'm at now, you know, prior to me finding out that I was going to be convicted for some decisions I made before I even joined the ministry. So now that I joined this ministry, I still had to face some decisions that I made prior to me joining the ministry, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it does. You know, what you do now.
So you know, I couldn't outrun it. You know, it caught up with me. So you know, so I went to court with it. You know, for about 2.5 years. You know, still playing at the church, not really talking to anybody what I had going through because I was really embarrassed of that I was actually that person at one point.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't nothing that I talked about. You know, often. So like I said, I would have normal conversations with people. You know, I would, still minister in whatever way that I could. And they didn't even know, people didn't know the things that I was dealing with, behind closed doors. Like I was going to court, up in Greensboro, I was going to court for, maybe 1 to 2 times every month for about 2.5 years and nobody knew. Yeah. Wow. So like I said, 2015, that I went to court. And now, mind you, I never had at the time that I went to court, I never had any previous convictions. I didn't have a criminal record. I wasn't the type of person that, that always had issues with the law. This was my first experience.
And you were, how old were you at that time?
At that time, 2015, I was 34.
Okay.
Yep, 34 years old.
Okay.
So, I'm already, I'm going through stuff now at that age that, most teenagers or early people in their early 20s. So like at that point, I felt like that I was kind of well into who I thought I was as a man, but now I'm fighting all these immature decisions that I made. So it was so that whole situation was very, like I said, very embarrassing. So I didn't really talk about it. I thought it would kind of go away without anybody really knowing. So that was my take on it. Of course, like, my family, people that were close to me, they kind of knew what I was dealing with.
Right.
But for the most part, nobody really knew that, that's what I was going through. Because like I said, I didn't really think, I didn't think in a million years that I would actually experience what I had to experience. So like I said, I went to that court date in August, never forget, August 5th, 2015, went to that court date. I was actually a general manager. I was in charge of 3 different U.S. cellular stores. So, I mean, and the crazy thing is, I had a great career.
Right.
So I was doing well for myself. And so that particular day, I told my manager, I said, listen, I got an appointment up in Greensboro. I won't be able to close one of the stores down, but I'll be back in the morning to open it and make sure everything goes smooth. So when I left to go to court that day, I didn't come back.
You didn't come back. That's it. I'm glad to say.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm glad to say that. You went in, didn't come back.
I didn't come back. I no, it's funny. It's we can laugh now because the crazy thing is I'm standing before the judge and I'm telling him all the positive things that I'm doing. I'm with my community. I'm like, hey, I'm involved with AAU basketball. I mentor all these people. I'm really a good guy, regardless of what the stuff that you see on paper. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm pleading my case. My lawyer pleading my case. So he goes to give me my punishment. He says, well, Mr. Rhodes, just seems to be like you're a really good man and you're a positive person in the community. So I'm thinking inside, I'm like, oh yeah, we good to go.
Yeah, you think I'm
thinking I'm good. A little slap on the wrist and you see me about my way. So he says, he quoted these words from, he says, well, looks like you got a positive support system in the community. When you get out, they'll be there waiting.
I got out. When he said out,
I look at my lawyer. I'm like, hold on. So my lawyer was like, sir, did you mean get out? He said, oh yeah, he has an active sentence. So I'm like, wait, hold on. Did you just not pay attention to all the stuff you reading that I'm doing positive? And you go, so it was at that moment, it was real. It was real. So it's like I didn't have time to get none of my affairs in order. I hadn't talked to my kids.
They just cuffed you right there, huh?
Right then.
Oh, my goodness.
Put the cuffs on me, took me in the back. As a matter of fact, I still had on my US Sailor button-down shirt with my two-piece suit on. Clean.
Oh, my goodness.
Probably the cleanest mug shot you will see in Guilford County. Yes, sir. Man. So, so that was that. I spent 9 months incarcerated. They gave me it was 6 felonies that was pending. So, but they actually ran them all together and actually put 2 on my record. So I still do have 2 felonies on my record to this day.
Can you vote?
Yes, I can. So let me let everybody know that has this felony. You can vote. So don't let them fool you. You can vote. You can vote.
You don't have to fill out any special paperwork or anything.
No, sir.
like that?
Not at all.
In the state of North Carolina, you can vote.
Yep, in the state of North Carolina, you can vote. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad my audience needs to hear that.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Your kids. Yeah. All right. I think that varies from state to state, but if you're in North Carolina, you can vote if you're a felon.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you think about people thinking it's a badge of honor to have been incarcerated, gone to prison? What do you think about young people having that mindset?
I think that really boils down to the community that they hold a high standard to, so it just depends on it's all about an area and also a mindset, because the thing is, if they've been raised and brought up around individuals that have been glorified for certain crimes or that have been glorified for certain things or going in and out of prison, right, and they want to become that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about what they surround themselves with, what they've been exposed to early. And I think it's not enough positive interventions where to the point where we're teaching our youth that, hey, it's cool to go to school. It's cool to make good grades. It's cool, to be successful, but by not being enough of that, then their minds are kind of being filled with everything that the streets tell them. When the streets tell them, hey, it's cool to go get you a gun and shoot somebody. It's cool, to do whatever it is that you do. It's cool to go, because they actually, you get rated, just depending on what organizations you belong to. You get rated, on a higher rating depending on what you in jail for or how much time you did.
Really?
So, yeah. So that's just, it's really wicked out there. And so, you got kids that's looking for a reason to go. You got kids, like I've even met individuals, in my time while I was locked up. That's one thing I made the best of that situation. I talked to individuals from all walks of life. And, one of the things that I found to be common is that our youth, man, they just, it's nothing to them. It's I'm gonna go. They look at, I'm gonna go lay down for these few months. So I'm gonna go lay down for these few years. And to me, and when they hear that, or when they say that, they're saying it from a perspective. Okay, I'm about to go just chill. I'm gonna lay down and do my time. But no, it's they're not realizing they're just giving their life away. They're giving these days away when it don't have to be, where you could be something, you could do anything, be doing anything constructive. Like I said, every day that you're in there, that's taking a day from your family, taking a day from your goals, taking a day from the people that really love you and care about you, and taking days from your your ability to create opportunities for yourself. I tell anybody, like, as long as you out here breathing, that like I said, you can wake up today and become anything you want to be. And I stand on that, because I can say that from a place of conviction, because the day I walked out of prison, like I said, I had those felonies on my record. Right. I didn't have any resources. I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything to lean on. I mean, all of my cars had been repossessed. I was behind on my bills. My credit was bad. Everything was bad. Anything that you could think of was bad.
Zero. You were less than zero.
I was less than zero, because now I had already experienced a good life, because prior to me going in, I drove any kind of car I want. I lived how I wanted to live. I kept money. So that was a humbling experience that I had to go. So I had my same mentality, but I don't have the resources that I have. So my mind want to live one way, but I couldn't do it. And so I had to start from scratch. And so, but one thing I had that I didn't have prior is the mindset. I had a mindset shift. So while I was locked up, I read books. I prayed. I asked God for direction, and I can say wholeheartedly that He gave me direction. He shifted my mindset. My thought, the way I used to think, that was a thing of the past. Right. And once you correct your mindset, everything else falls in place. Like, so, and you can basically start from zero, wherever it is. You can like, whoever's hearing me, you could be hearing me right now. You could have no money in your pocket, no roof over your head, nothing. But if you shift your mindset, everything else will follow from there. And I think a lot of our problems, and this kind of goes back to your previous question. A lot of our problems is that we become adaptive. We become adapted to our environment. So if jail has become your environment, and then you're comfortable with that, if poverty has become your environment, you become comfortable with that. If just saying, okay, I got a felony, I can't get a job, or I got a felony, I can't start this business, I got a felony, I can't do this, that has become your mindset. So until you break out of that, don't expect anything different. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect anything outside of that. So once you get that mindset shift, and you really believe it wholeheartedly in your heart, your actions will begin to follow it. Things will begin to line up, and that's just how it goes.
From what you just said, it sounds a lot like me, really, because I have always told people, and this is my philosophy, and this is my mindset. Today it could be your worst. You think that's it, life is over. I used to sleep in Port Authority at one time when I was a teenager. Wow. When my grandma died, I was basically homeless. But fortunately, I got a scholarship to Elizabeth City State. I played trumpet. Yes, sir. And I always had a job,
There you go.
So that you can't get any lower than, having to wash up in the sink, but I always had a job. Mm-hmm. Not a big job. I managed to finish 1 year at Elizabeth City. My mom died my first year of Elizabeth City. And, sleeping in Port Authority. But that gave me a lot of, how can I say? That gave me a lot of inner strength.
Absolutely.
It was the saying, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yes, it will.
Adversity makes you stronger. I think everybody, I'm not advocating you go out and suffer, but suffering has a way to mold you, to toughen you. Okay? And that is what you can stand on as you pursue your life. as you live your life. Okay, you can pass that on to your kids.
Absolutely.
All right. So
one thing my grandmother used to tell me, she said, Terrell, when people start giving you your advice, see what have they been through, because if they ain't been through it, it's hard for them to tell you about it.
There you go.
That's real. That's real. And I think that's really the kind of foundation. Even with my mentoring now, I'm really appreciative. That's why I say I glorify my dark moments, because at the end of the day, it's made me who I am, but it also solidified my testimony. So like I said, so when I talk to people or when I mentor people, whether it be a young adult, a child, an older adult, it doesn't matter. I could tell you from a place of experience. I could tell you from a place of conviction. I could tell you, hey, this not what I heard. I live this thing, man. So it's a whole different level of passion. And it's a whole nother level of confidence as well, that I could speak boldly to this matter.
I got you. Right. I mean, I'm so proud of you. I mean, you're such a unique person, and especially coming from Williamson. I think Williamson strong. And you have some strong people that come from Williamson, North Carolina. I just have to say it.
Maybe oh yeah.
I'm a little biased because I'm from there, but
it's real. Strong
people come from Williamson.
It's real.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our interview with Mr. Terrell Rhodes, businessman extraordinaire.
Thank you for joining the Walt Weekly. We can be found at Facebook, the Walt Weekly Podcast, Twitter, at Walt Weekly, Instagram, the Walt Weekly, and www.thewaltweekly.podbean.com. Please like, follow, and share.